Okay, so you watched my video about how to appropriately teach your child with autism how to privately touch themselves. But now they are not quite getting it. They're still trying to touch themselves all the time, not really listening to what I'm teaching them. Is that the position you're in? We are going to go over how to address that and actually get them to listen to you. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Melissa. I am a board certified behavior analyst, and I specialize in helping families go from survival mode to true happiness and peace in their days. I am crisis management trained. I do teach at the collegiate level, and I'm so grateful to have helped hundreds of families throughout the years with these exact behaviors and more. So let's get to it. All right, so here's the situation. Your child with autism, you have the materials. You are teaching them preventatively, right? About here's what touching is like, here's when you do it, here's how you can do it, here's how you ask for it, right? You're giving them everything. You're teaching. But it's not clicking yet. They are still doing it whenever they want. What do I do? Number one, remain calm. I know it's hard. It's probably a shocker. They're pulling it out or pulling their pants down, and you're like, whoa, what? No, 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 no. Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. A little hasty, gets the attention of others around, right? So then you're kind of jeopardizing your child being seen by others. Granted, if you're like in the car or you're at home, does it seem like a big deal? No. But in those moments, you're giving a lot of attention to your child for this behavior. And especially if they're a child with autism who has deficits in communication and language and social skills, they've learned that when I get hype and I have a lot of attention with anything I do, I'm going to keep doing it. So you are trying to convey to them with this hype that something is wrong. Alert, alert, alert. But to them, they're like, ooh, I got attention. Cool. Doesn't usually faze them. Now, for some particular kids, they might actually stop. Bravo. I'm glad it worked for you. But ultimately, please try to stay calm, because then also your nervous system is regulated and you can remember what to do next, because the next steps are really the most important and the times that you would teach. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to stay calm. You're going to look them in the eye, remember, get their attention, and you're going to say, that is a private behavior. Show me safe hands, right? So firm voice, it's not yelling. That is private. We're not doing that right now. And then you could say, like, pull up your pants, put it away, right? Now, if you're at home, ideally, you'll say, ask for private time, ask for me time, and then you will either let them go to their bedroom, right? They're going to ask for it. They're going to go to their bedroom. You're going to set the timer. Or you're going to make sure that they are all put away, and then you're going to guide them right to the visual supports. So social story that we talked about, you can have a timer that's like specifically for this activity. Let's say like you bought like a blue timer, right? They know that this blue timer is exactly for this, and when I see it out, that's when we can go. You can show them, like, look, it's not time yet. Look, you have to go in your bedroom. Look, you've already done it 2 times today. We are all done. Right? So, remain calm. Tell them, remind them when and where they can do it. And then number 3, this part's really, 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 really important. Because if you just walk away and you're like, that was a close one. I got to get back to the dishes. I got to go fold the laundry. I got to, whatever it is. They're probably going to go back to it. And then you're going to get frustrated and you're going to yell and it's going to start all over again and it's a cycle and you got nowhere. So, step 3, redirect them to another activity, preferably something that involves their hands. Why their hands? Because if their hands aren't occupied with anything, it might be occupied with stuff down there. So, how can you redirect them? What can they do? anything. So if you're folding the laundry, come on with me. We're going to go fold some clothes. This will be fun. Make it fun. Turn on some music. Or if they like toys, if they're little, redirect them to a toy that they enjoy to play with. Let's say stacking blocks or an instrument. Basically, we have to use our hands for like everything we do, so you can't really go wrong with redirecting. It's just, you can't miss this step. This step is super, uber, duper important. Redirect them to something else and make sure they are engaged before you walk away. There are definitely smart kids out there. They know what's going on. They could possibly wait until you walk away and then do it again. But that's where the redirection comes in, and it's really important because we're not only redirecting their hands, we're redirecting their mind. Their mind was on that activity that you had interrupted, and now we're going to redirect their mind and their body to something completely different, off topic. We're not just going to soak their brain with like drill, drill, drill. This is when you do it. This is where you do it. Drill, drill, drill. We're not having them sit down and write, I will only touch myself in my bedroom 1,000 billion times. We're not doing anything like that. We were redirecting them to something completely different, preferably something enjoyable so that they don't do that other activity that you don't want them to do. It's as easy as that. You have to do your part. That's how they're going to be taught. All right? This is very comparable to all the other things you teach them in life. It's about repetition. It's about teaching them. And it's about following your instructions. And you want to be a parent that stays calm and regulated so that they are learning that they didn't really necessarily do something wrong. They just did it at the wrong time and in the wrong place. Okay? Like, going off on a little tangent here, but like yelling and screaming, we don't never ever want them to yell and scream, right? They need those vocals, right? We want them to learn, you yell and scream like that only like on a roller coaster, or if you're in severe danger. If you're in danger, scream just like that. But you're not going to be in danger that often. And when you scream like that, it makes me think you're in danger. So that's like, went off on a little tangent here. But the point I'm making is that there are learning and teaching opportunities in like literally everything that we do, and this is one of them. All right, so once again, stay calm. Teach them again kind of quickly in like a minute or so with the visual supports, when and where, and then redirect them to an activity and make sure that they are engaged before you walk away. If this made sense, please comment yes. All right, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Send me a like. Add me on Facebook, all the social media. Shoot me an email if you'd like to work with me. I would love to work with you. Thank you so much for watching.